Well, we haven't talked a lot about goaltending this year with the Toronto Marlies, and probably for good reason. It has been a solid part of the game that has just done the job that has been needed to do. Antoine Bibeau's got a couple of wins. Garret Sparks, a narrow loss, but is 1-1 on the course of the season. And then when you look at save percentage, their numbers just a little shy of the median as far as the division is concerned in this North Division in the American Hockey League. And both goaltenders feeling that sometimes you got to ignore the numbers and just put it behind you. A little bit like when they get scored upon, they just take that goal, throw it out, and try to make the next save. An important part of this goaltending process is getting to know both goaltenders. As head coach Sheldon Keefe points out, he's just feeling out the process and making sure that both goaltenders get a fair shake and a good look.
Two guys, obviously, that are young guys, but have some experience in the league and in pro, and I'm trying to get familiar with them. They didn't play a whole lot through the exhibition and everything, so 2 games for each of them to this point, and I think both have fared well. I know the organization speaks very highly of both of them coming into the season, and I think they've delivered to this point, and they're going to get more familiar with them as we go. And obviously, we've split them to date, and we'll go on the road here with 3 games and have some decisions to make really for the first time. But both guys certainly are capable, and we like we like where we sit with the goaltending for sure.
Well, it's really different already from last year, and I've never really been used to don't get too many shots, so it's different, and it's really the mental part of the game that is really working in those kind of situations. So you just need to be ready at all time and make the save when you get shots against. Just keep focusing and try to really be focused and try to do just the little details that would keep you focused, like just beat the pass and be square at all time. And maybe like when you don't get too many shots, if you focus at doing those little details, sometimes you're able to stay focused in the game and be ready when you get a shot.
The guys circle a couple of times, and then they lose the zone, and there's no shot whatsoever on maybe a 2-minute own of the zone. How tough is that?
It's tough, but at the same time, it's good. When you don't get shots, your team's doing a good job, so you can't be mad because you don't get any shots. So, I mean, if we do a good job and we get the puck back and we go in the offensive zone, that's great.
It seems like really the only true indicator of how a goaltender is might be video. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's hard to judge a guy solely based on numbers, and there's a lot of factors that go into goaltending, and anybody who knows the position will tell you you can't judge a book by its cover. And to get to really know a goalie and understand what makes them tick and what makes them good, or what areas they need to work on, you really need to sit there and deconstruct and go from the ground up and see what his foundations are, and what makes him a good goalie. My mentality always in net is, make the first save and then make the next save and then make the next save and then make the next save. And if you just continue to focus on, the little things that you have to do in a game over the course of a game, those things will add up, and that's where you find your successes. It's not because you made, a couple great saves, it's because you consistently made the saves that you need to make throughout the game.
Well, shots on goal are a pretty good indicator of who's involved in the offense. It doesn't matter about the quality or the scoring chance, just the fact that you are getting pucks to the net. Not surprising here when you take a look at the chart that William Nylander is leading in that category, but not far behind a usual cast of characters: Brown, Fratton, Fraze. One of the players that you might not expect in that lineup, who's just behind those guys, is Nikita Soshnikov, who was singled out the other night as having a lot of energy. And at the end of the game, Sheldon Keefe pointed out that that's why he made a line change to put him up with Nylander and Brown.
I thought Soshnikov was one of our guys that had a lot of legs and was on top of the puck and creating some things, and thought, that he was going and giving him a boost in the lineup and playing with some skilled guys.
Well, the Toronto Marlies come back to the Ricoh Coliseum next Wednesday when they face the Syracuse Crunch at 7 o'clock, and then they've got a Friday date with the Grand Rapids Griffins. But before that, they'll be on the road this weekend against Rochester, the Buffalo Sabres farm team, and then off to Binghamton, just down the road a couple of hours, to face the Senators Farm Club, and then off to Lehigh Valley, where they played 1 game last year and will play against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, who are the farm club in the American Hockey League of the Philadelphia Flyers.